The Renaissance is a period in European history marking the transition from Middle Ages to modernity. The Renaissance was a cultural movement that profoundly affected European intellectual life in the early modern period, beginning in Italy and spreading to the rest of the Europe by 16th century. Its influence was felt in art, architecture, philosophy, literature, music, science, technology, politics, religion, and other aspects of intellectual inquiry. But today we are going to see its impact on slavery, wicked, an abomination, and against all humanity. These words uttered in 1416 shine a light on the dark truth that slavery thrived in the Renaissance Europe. As a slave said in 1218, I sold myself of my own free will as a slave to son of Placius for 4.5 gold coins, valid until my death, so that he can do with me as he pleases. It is a typical sale contract reminding us that slavery was a common phenomenon in the late medieval period of Europe. From Dubrovnik in the modern day Croatia, around the coast of Italy, France, Spain, up to the Porto in Portugal, the archives are full of legal contracts about slave sales. In 1367, a woman named Christine was sold in Marseilles. The purchaser told that he could have her, hold her, give her, sell her, exchange her, and do all that he pleases with her. Enslaved people from a range of regions like Russia, Bulgaria, Turks, Greeks, Albanians were sold via Black Sea. In Barcelona, Spain, 20% of the households had slaves, and in Genoa, it's thought that female slaves may have made up to 10% of their age group. The majority of the slaves in this period were female and young, at least at the point of purchase. This was a period in Italy in which ideas of liberty and nobility of human nature and the importance of common good were discussed in inspirational terms by Renaissance humanists. But these were also societies reliant on human trafficking and slavery. The hypocrisy is striking and did not entirely escape contemporaries. The city of Dubrovnik banned slave trading in 1416 as disgraceful, but did not ban slave owning. Now the question arises, were slaves able to set themselves free? Well, there were two ways they could do so. The first was if the master or mistress choose to set them free out of their own choice, and the second that they buy their own freedom. There is one such story of Tibrasa the Bosna in 1282. She had not saved up enough money to buy her own freedom, so instead she sold her own sister. At that point, according to the manumission document, the Bosna became free to wander any part of the earth, but in return, she sold her own sister. There is one more story, and that is of Theodora, who lived in Crete and had two sons, Demetrios and Andronikos, by her owner, Pietro Porco. In 1345, Porco decided that he wanted to sell the boys. He claimed this was his legal right because they had inherited the enslaved status of their mother. However, the magistrate forbade the sale, noting that children are and will remain forever free. In the third story, religion plays its part. The canon law of Catholic Church said that if a slave had converted before they were made slave, the enslavement was not valid. If, however, they were converted into Christianity after they became slave, so they will remain slave. So a trio of teenage girls, Gallica, Soina, the Salva of Bosnia in 1393, who were not Christian and made slaves, proved in the court that they had been converted days before being enslaved into Christianity, and the court freed them. So, in the end, we can say that Renaissance had come, but for the affluent section of the society, and those who were poor, they had not seen the face of that child called Renaissance. Thanks.